Welcome to LAVCA 5th grade ELA Read Alouds. Open your study island lesson and be ready to listen and follow along. Today's lesson is punctuation. Then you'll be ready to open your pathway to complete some practice questions. Using italics in writing. Italicized or underlined words stand out on pages and computer screens to make readers take notice. You should italicize or underline the titles of works. For example, Highlights for Children is a magazine, and Matilda is a book. Wicked on Broadway is a play. Garfield, written by Jim Davis, is a comic strip. Kung Fu Panda is a movie. SpongeBob SquarePants is a TV program. Kids Time is a radio program on this radio station. Children on the Beach by Mary Cassatt is some artwork. Northwest Florida Daily News is a newspaper. Hit Story by Elvis Presley is a music album. And Merriam-Webster Online is a website. End punctuation. Every sentence you write will have some form of end punctuation. End punctuation not only tells the reader where to stop, but it tells the reader what kind of sentence he or she is reading. Question marks. Question marks are put at the end of a question. A question is a type of sentence that asks or requests something. For example, why do bees buzz? Will you please close the door? Exclamation marks. An exclamation is a sentence that expresses strong feelings or commands. Readers can spot exclamations by noting words like shout, scream, and yell. Exclamation sentences are followed by exclamation marks. For example, call 911, the house is on fire. Go get your dog before he runs in the street. Periods. Periods are used at the end of sentences that are not exclamations or questions. They are used at the end of a declarative sentences. Declarative sentences, simple statements of fact or truth. For example, it is raining outside. I like turtles. Sometimes periods may be used at the end of simple commands. If the command does not express strong emotion, you should place a period at the end of it. If the command has strong emotion to it, see the exclamation marks examples above. For example, please hand me the TV remote, or get a bandage for your brother. Colons. Colons are used at the end of sentences that suggest more information follows. For example, the following items are on sale: cameras, cell phones, computers. In this example, the bullet points are used just to illustrate the list of things that are on sale. In a sentence, these would be followed by commas. Commas and quotation marks. Below are rules for the proper use of commas and quotation marks. Commas. Commas separate two independent clauses joined by a conjunction. For example, I like to eat sandwiches, and I also like to drink juice. Commas set off introductory subordinate clauses and long phrases. For example, when I cross the street, I hold my mother's hand. Commas set off non-essential clauses and phrases following a specific noun, a proper name of a particular person, place, or thing. For example, Roger Martin, who works at the grocery store, is my neighbor. Commas separate consecutive words and separate items in series of 3 or more. For example, Aunt Susie sells dolls, toys, and jewelry in the town square. Commas separate two adjectives that modify a single noun, not each other. If you could place "and" between them, they need a comma. For example, my smart, nice teacher gives my class important information. Commas separate parts of dates and addresses. For example, my dad was born on April 15, 1978, in Austin, Texas. Commas mark interrupters and enclose parenthetical expressions. For example, she told me, however, that my joke was funny. Commas mark the omission of words. For example, for my mother, I bought flowers, and for my father, a tie. Commas set off yes and no tag questions, words of direct address, and mild interjection. For example, yes, I will help you clean your house. I am your friend, right? Sir, thank you for your time. Well, here we go. Quotation marks. Periods and commas always go inside quotation marks, even inside single quotes. For example, after Dad said, "I do not drink coffee," he went to the kitchen to get a soda. My sister told me, "You said I will be home soon." The placement of question marks with quotes depends on the sentence. If a question is in quotation marks, the question mark should be placed inside the quote. For example, he asked, "Why do I have to go to the dentist?" Should I tell him, "You look nice today"? Here, the question is outside the quote. Note, only one ending punctuation mark is used with quotation marks. Also, the stronger punctuation mark wins. Therefore, no period after today is used. When you have a question outside and inside a quote, use only one question mark and place it inside the quotation mark. For example, did your brother just ask, when is dinner? Use single quotation marks for quotes within quotes. Note that the period goes inside all quote marks. For example, Kathy replied, "I think he said we will be at school tomorrow." Use quotation marks to set off a direct quotation, not an indirect one. For example, "Please tell me the truth," Ashton said. He said that he needs me to tell him the truth. Use quotation marks around titles of poems, short stories, and songs. Dennis read Gil Harper's story, The Minuteman. Robert Lowell wrote the poem Skunk Hour for Elizabeth Bishop. Brittany hates the song Cry Me a River.